Hi there. So these are some of the primary research methods that can be used. So we can use surveys, we can use focus groups, consumer panels, interviews, and observations. So what I will do is I'll go through them in turn, so you have an understanding of each one. So surveys are something you've probably come across before. They are also called questionnaires, and it's just to find out information about what the customers actually want. There are different ways that you can go about it. You can do face-to-face ones, like maybe you've been stopped on the street asking if you could answer a few questions. You can be sent things through the post. You can do it over telephone. Or what is more common now is that you undertake these surveys and these questionnaires online. Now, questionnaires and surveys can be done in two different ways. Okay, so like we've come across before, that we can essentially get quantitative or qualitative information. Okay, so it's important when you do surveys is that you've got a good mix of open and closed ones. So there's information that you can analyze, and there's information that you can get good in-depth information about. Okay, all right. So open questions will give you quality information. Closed questions will give you information that you can quantify into data. And there are a couple of examples on there for you to see. Now, there's some really important rules to remember when creating a questionnaire or a survey. It's important to sort of establish quite early on and quite clear what the purpose of your survey is. So that's one to sort of let the person know who's filling in the questionnaire what they're filling out for, but it also gives you a kind of quite clear aim of what you're trying to achieve from doing this questionnaire or survey. It's really important to try and avoid leading questions, so essentially not trying to get information that you want to, you don't want to try and prove your point. You want to kind of leave it as objective and as ambiguous as possible, so you're getting sort of good quality information. Okay. Like I've said before, try and have a mixture of closed or open questions, and then once you've done that, make sure you can analyze the data effectively. Focus groups are small groups that discuss products and services, and people are encouraged to give their true opinion. And basically what they do is they discuss their opinions with other people about how they feel about things, and you've got someone maybe asking some questions about people's opinions. And focus groups are a real important way of getting some real quality information from your customers or potential customers. Consumer panels are very similar to focus groups, but consumer panels are more probably before you are going to launch a product. Okay, so often you use consumer panels to maybe test out a new TV show or a film before you release it, and you can see whether they have a positive or a negative reaction. And maybe you need to go back and do some editing, or maybe you're just not going to roll out a load of money on doing a whole series based on maybe this one episode that these people have seen. Okay. So again, it can give you sort of real sort of qualitative, in-depth information from a group. You can also undertake some interviews, and these are sort of one-on-one things, and these can give qualitative information, sort of really in-depth one, and particularly sort of with focus groups, you're sort of competing with other people to talk. Interviews are one-on-one, and you can make sure that people are able to give their full opinion without maybe other people chiming in. And it's just really important that you get the same questions, you remain as objective as possible. Interviews are really good because, like I said, it gives sort of detailed feelings of how people are reacting to products or to advertising, whatever. The issue is, as it's very expensive and really time consuming, and I suppose as with everything else, like it with sort of focus groups, consumer panels, etc., you got to make sure you're getting the right people. But an interview, if you end up only interviewing a small amount of people, and you're not interviewing the right type of person, it can maybe give you insightful information, but not insightful in the way that you really want it to. Okay, so it could be giving you opinions that aren't really reflective of your target market or the people who are buying your product. you can undertake observations. So observations can mean a multitude of things. Okay, so you can maybe just, let's say you want to analyze traffic and see maybe the kind of cars that are being driven in a certain place at a time. Are they hatchbacks? Are they vans? Are they lorries? Are they buses? Or whatever. Or you can sort of maybe analyze how many passengers they have in the car. You can also sort of take it a step further, and you can sort of maybe see how many people shop down the left-hand side or the right-hand side of something of a shopping aisle. How much time people spend deciding on what they're going to purchase. Now, it's really good because it gives you quite a true reflection of what's going on and can be really well analysed, okay? And you can really sort of quantify that information really well. I suppose the only drawback is when you're just observing behaviour, you aren't really able to sort of maybe get a detailed response, and people are unable to give you a detailed reason why they are making certain decisions. You're just observing them make those decisions.